Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vishnupada, Padmahamsa, Parivrajacharya, Ashtotara Shatashisha, Mother's Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada, Padmahamsa, Parivrajacharya, Ashtotara Shatashisha, Mother's Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Grantaraj srimadbhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. What book do you have there? Songbook? Oh, songbook. Okay. So because it is Kartik, we read from this book, Ananda Vrindavan Champu, first, by Srila Kavit Karnapur. We read Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book, the description of Mother Yashoda and Damodar, Mother Yashoda binding Lord Krishna. And Javita Prabhu yesterday read Gopal Champu, and he'll continue. So I'll read this today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is chapter 6, Binding Sri Krishna. Alright. I think we'll be able to finish the... yeah. Alright. The following episode occurred one day during Krishna's transcendental pastimes in Gokul. Though any number of maidservants could have done this chore, Yashoda tactfully engaged them elsewhere in order to show her expertise in preparing butter. With her own hands, which appeared as soft and elegant as lotus flowers, Yashoda personally churned butter for her beloved boy. The beauty of her delicate arms put lotus stems to shame. As she rhythmically pulled the ropes back and forth, the jingling of her emerald-studded bangles resounded like the bells on the feet of a dancer. As Yashoda's hair loosened and became wet from the exertion of churning, it looked like the open tail feathers of a jubilant peacock. When her hair braid untied, the jewels, flowers, and peacock feathers decorating it fell on the ground. As shooting stars beautify the dense darkness of night, similarly, these falling items increased the beauty of the earth. The necklace on her raised breast swung back and forth with the movements of her blouse. The shining effulgence emanating from her jeweled earrings appeared like a constant flow of nectar. Bathed in the sweet mellow of maternal affection, Yashoda's neck and shoulders looked exceedingly beautiful. The ornamental belt surrounding her highly raised hips appeared captivating. The radiant gems and tinkling bells on that belt further increased its elegance. Drenched in a river of devotional perspiration, Yashoda's delicate body looked delightful. The sweetness of this scene defeated the beauty of seeing a swarm of intoxicated bees buzzing over a blooming lotus flower. A loud sound resembling the roaring of the ocean rose out of the wide mouth of Yashoda's butter pot. The drops of yogurt spilling out of the pot and falling on the golden border of Yashoda's sari made it look even more attractive. As Yashoda passed the time remembering Krishna, she recalled the enchanting look in her son's eyes whenever he got caught stealing butter. At that time he would proudly say, "Mother, you should know that I am expert in this art of stealing." Krishna felt hungry and anxious to drink Yashoda's breast milk. In a threatening voice, Krishna said, "Either you stop to feed me, or I'll break the churning pot." Suddenly, the one who churns the hearts of everyone in creation forcefully caught the churning rod. Yashoda stopped, sat Krishna on her lap, and happily fed him. While gazing at his loosely hanging curly dark blue hair, Yashoda's heart swelled with appreciation of Krishna's wonderfully gentle nature. Just at that time in the kitchen, some boiling milk foamed up in a pot. Fearing it might spill over, Yashoda left her son and ran to the kitchen. This deeply pierced the core of Krishna's heart. Becoming angry, he picked up a rock and broke the butter pot. Churned butter flowed in all directions across the floor. In a fearful yet playful mood, Krishna ran through the butter and romped from room to room, engaging in more mischief. Stealthily entering the milk storeroom, Krishna quickly ate small amounts of freshly churned butter from various pots. From relishing his favorite food, he soon felt satisfied and gave up his anger. Then Sri Hari, who is worshipped by all the demigods, snatched a pot of butter and ran into the courtyard. The pastimes Krishna enjoyed at this time appeared to be classic performances on a dramatic stage. While standing on a grinding mortar in the courtyard and anxiously looking around for Mother Yashoda, Krishna fed fresh butter to all the assembled children and monkeys. The fortunate Yashoda, whose jewel-like son benedicts the entire creation, took the boiling milk off the stove and returned to Krishna. The fame of attaining Krishna as her son enhanced the brilliant beauty of Yashoda's body. She wanted to embrace her son and console him, but not finding him there, she became morose. In a mood of lamentation, she frantically searched everywhere for Krishna. She found some broken pots emitting innumerable streams of yogurt that flowed across the floor, making it slippery and white in color. Out of anger, Krishna had smashed many clay pots, which now lay strewn on the floor in hundreds of pieces. Mother Yashoda thought, "Alas, what has happened? Why is this yogurt pot broken?" At first she could not understand, but upon seeing a small rock she concluded that Krishna had perpetrated this naughty act. With a look of surprise, Mother Yashoda touched the tip of her nose with the index finger of her beautiful left hand and thought, "How could my child show such impudence? I tried so patiently to train him properly, so how could he behave so horribly?" Although no impurities resided in her heart, Yashoda appeared to manifest a special form of motherly pride. Right, like the distorted reflection in this world. The child at the elementary school, he's a whatever, she's a #1 student, and then they put a sticker on the back of the car. My child is a honor student. Showing false anger, she Showing false anger, she thought, "The glories of my son's transcendental pastimes are unlimited. His every action increases his own pride and pleasure while simultaneously creating a festival for one and all. He derives boundless happiness by his constant pastimes of stealing." As soon as Krishna, who enchants the demigods with his beautiful body, the color of a monsoon cloud, saw Mother Yashoda coming out of the house, he jumped up in fear and ran away as fast as possible. Expertly understanding the human-like nature of her son, Yashoda chased after him, calling, "Stop running, stop, O you foremost cheater in the world." Krishna kept looking fearfully back over his shoulder while running away from Yashoda. Though Yashoda felt fatigued and mentally distressed, her body, arms, and legs looked very beautiful as she pursued her mischievous son. Full of pride and anger, Yashoda continued shouting to Krishna, "Stop, you thief and liar! How can you carry on like this? Where are you going? Just stop running and stand where you are." Krishna said, "I will stop if you drop your stick." After saying this, Krishna stopped running away, but kept a safe distance from his mother. Yashoda said, "If you're so afraid of being punished, then why did you break the yogurt pot today?" Krishna said, "I will never do it again. Now just drop the stick from your hand." Yashoda's mind turned into an abode of amazement as she tried to reproach her son, but seeing her angry mood, Krishna quickly ran away again while speaking in a distressed tone. "Mother, please drop that big stick and do not punish me. O sinless one, if you do this, I will come to you." After hearing Krishna's innocent appeal, Yashoda dropped the stick. Now I'm not sure if it will say this here, but I was reading last night. There's that commentary in the 10th canto from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I was reading this pastime. It said that although she had a stick, he says, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that she never used it. She would never use it, to actually beat him. So it's just a just a threatening thing. Seeing this, Krishna stopped running. Absorbed in watching Krishna's transcendental pastimes, the mortal denizens of heaven felt totally amazed. One can easily understand how powerful demigods like Lord Brahma, who lives for trillions of years, became upset and bewildered upon seeing Krishna's pastime of showing fear before his mother. They could not fathom how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is feared by fear personified, ran away in fear of a stick in his mother's hand. The fine hairs curling over Yashoda's face dripped with perspiration, and her blouse moved from her heavy breathing. Her hair hung loose from running, and her lotus face appeared exhausted. When she caught Krishna's hand, he said, "Mother, please do not beat me." While saying this, Krishna rubbed his tear-filled lotus eyes with his delicate palms, which resembled the petals of a fresh lotus flower. It also said last night. It also said that Mother Yashoda is blackish in complexion, which is interesting. Yeah. With a choked voice, Krishna slowly uttered some sweet yet indistinct words that came out from his beautiful mouth like drops of nectar falling from the full moon. Indeed, it was a marvelous sight to see Krishna become overwhelmed in fear and crying helplessly. Yashoda thought, if I do not bind him immediately, he may run away into the deep forest. Yashoda then brought a grinding mortar and considered how to bind the one of boundless glories. Observing this, Krishna beamed an attractive smile. Yashoda ordered some maidservants, O Kurangavati, O Lavangavati, fetch some smooth, soft rope made of jute. The attempt of Rajeshwari Yashoda to bind Krishna, the ever well-wisher of the whole creation, immersed her in an ocean of joy. Soon many opulently dressed elderly gopis, the embodiments of limitless motherly affection. The embodiments of limitless motherly affection came here along with several curious boys with clean, beautifully curly hair. Mother Yashoda tied many ropes together, but they always measured 2 inches too short. Surprisingly, no matter how many ropes she collected, they remained 2 inches too short. She said, alas, this small distance seems to have become as vast as Brahma's universe. The Supreme Lord enacts this pastime by his personal energy to display his unlimited power. Observing this wonderful incident, the elderly gopis tried to relieve Yashoda's anxiety by saying, O Yashoda, you are the most blessed one in creation. A minute ago you tied a small golden belt around Krishna's thin waist. But now you cannot bind him with all the ropes in your house. Despite the number of ropes you tied together, they always end up 2 inches too short. There is some strange cause behind this phenomena, so you better stop trying to bind your son. Because they have that picture, right? The BBT, the devotees, they've made that picture of, I think it's in the previous calendars, but it's of Mother Yashoda dressing Krishna. And then the boy, Krishna's friends are there also. Vishal? So he's saying here that just a few moments ago, or just some time ago, you golden belt around Krishna's belly, but now you can't do it with all the ropes. In great astonishment, Yashoda addressed the gopis. O Vraj gopis, I have no more ropes, so please bring all the ropes stored in your houses. It was out of fear that the gopis gave all their ropes to Yashoda, but they did so in order to see Krishna's glorious transcendental character and relish his blissful pastimes. Feigning anger, Yashoda took all the additional ropes and tried again to bind her naughty son. While enjoying this scene, the doe-eyed housewives of Vrindavan laughed quietly, while secretly tasting a special joy in their hearts. All the blissful moods of spiritual love harmonized in Krishna's childhood pastimes. Though Krishna's hands were very delicate, his eyes soon pained from continually rubbing the tears falling from them. In a choked-up voice, he spoke some richly sweet words that captivated the minds of all. Finally, Krishna cried in a gentle, honey-sweet voice. Empathizing with Krishna, close friends like Subal also wept, along with their bosom friend. Yashoda's heart palpitated with her heavy breathing, her hair loosened, and the flowers fell to the ground. Perspiring, tired, overwhelmed, and her labors frustrated, Yashoda sat down to rest and figure out how to tie up Krishna. A short time later she tried again to bind her matchless son. The elderly gopis, having lost all desire to return to their homes, stood motionless while staring at Krishna with unblinking eyes. Now all the ropes in Vrindavan joined in a fruitless attempt to bind the master of the universe. It is impossible to tie up bliss, wisdom, power, and consciousness, so how can anyone tie up Krishna, who is made of nothing but bliss, wisdom, power, and consciousness? How could Yashoda bind one who has no inside or outside, who is limitless, who has no beginning or end, who has infinite power, who is the totality of everything, who is completely full and beyond any contamination, who is within and outside of everything? Viewing the situation, the all-powerful Supreme Lord decided to bestow his mercy upon Yashoda. Even though Mother Yashoda eagerly desired to tie up Krishna, she met no success despite her total exhaustion. The endeavor of a devotee to bind the Lord can only be successful with the Lord's sanction. All of Yashoda's work now bore fruit because Krishna, out of compassion for her, suddenly allowed himself to be bound. Extending his mercy, he saved his mother, his beloved mother, from further anger and frustration. Yashoda asked the assembled cowherd boys to watch Krishna prevent him from untying himself and running away. Then Yashoda and the elderly gopis entered her private chambers. The moment Yashoda left, Krishna stopped crying, and his face assumed a peaceful and effulgent glow like the luminous moonshine. So then it goes into Nalakuva and Managriva and pulling down the two trees and all that. So does anyone have any comments or anything like to add or about what was just read, or subtract, or not subtract, but okay. I think we did that. Yeah, so we chant. Brahmavacha Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Dharmadinam Cha Sutaye Nirgunaya Cha Yat Kashnam Naham Veda Pare Picha Brahmavacha Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Dharmadinam Cha Sutaye Nirgunaya Cha Yat Kashnam Naham Veda Pare Picha. Please chant.
Brahmavacha Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Dharmadinam Chasutyate Nirgunaya Chayat Naham Veda Pare Picha Brahmavacha Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Dharmadinam Chasutyate Nirgunaya Chayat Brahmavacha Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Dharmadinam Chasutyate Nirgunaya Chayat Naham Veda Pare Picha Brahmavacha Namaste Shuddha Sattvaya Dharmadinam Chasutyate Nirgunaya Chayat Naham Veda Pare Picha.
Okay, word by word translation. Brahma, the personified Vedas. Uvacha said, Namaha, respectful obeisances. Te, unto you. Shuddha Sattvaya, the shelter of the quality of goodness. Dharma Adinam, of all religion, austerity, and penance. Cha, and Sute, the source. Nirgunaya, transcendental to material qualities. Cha, and yet, of whom? Of the Supreme Lord. Kashnam, the situation. Na, not. Aham, I. Veda, no. Apare, others. Api, certainly. Cha, and. Translation. The personified Vedas said, We offer our respectful obeisances unto you, the Lord, the shelter of the quality of goodness, and therefore the source of all religion, austerity, and penance. For you are transcendental to all material qualities, and no one knows you or your actual situation. Purport. In the material world, there is the trinity of the three material qualities. Lord Vishnu has accepted the superintendence of the quality of goodness, which is the source of religion, knowledge, austerity, renunciation, opulence, etc. Because of this, actual peace, prosperity, knowledge, and religion can be attained when the living entities are under the control of the quality of goodness in the material world. As soon as they are subjected to the control of the other two qualities, namely passion and ignorance, the precarious conditional life becomes intolerable. But Lord Vishnu, in his original position, is always nirguna, which means transcendental to these material qualities. Guna means qualities, and nir means negation. This does not indicate, however, that he has no qualities. He has transcendental qualities in which he appears and manifests his pastimes. The positive transcendental qualitative manifestation is unknown to the students of the Vedas as well as to the great stalwart demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Actually, the transcendental qualities are manifested only to the devotees. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, simply by discharging devotional service one can understand the transcendental position of the Supreme Lord. Those who are in the mode of goodness can partially enter into the transcendental understanding, but it is advised in Bhagavad Gita that one has to surpass this. The Vedic principles are based on the three qualities of the material modes. One has to transcend the three qualities, and then one can be situated in pure and simple spiritual life. Om Ganatavadandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshulam Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Kam Kativachalam Pangam Langayate Garim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Gurun Diritanam Vancha Kapdibhishcha Kripasindabhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Was that a yawn out of ecstasy? It says in the Nectar Devotion, there's yawning, there's all different types of symptoms or characteristics. So there's the mode of passion, the mode of ignorance, the mode of goodness, and the more one can situate themselves in the mode of goodness, the more Krishna consciousness can make sense to them, and the more they'll be able to apply themselves to it, and so on, the more that it could actually work. And Prabhu gave the example of, he said there's the wet grass, there's the regular grass, and then there's the straw. So I said that in order to ignite wet grass is very difficult, right? To put the fire there and try to light it, very difficult. And then regular grass, okay, it's a little easier. And then straw, it ignites very quickly. So the wet grass is considered to be the mode of ignorance. Somebody in the mode of ignorance, situated too much ignorance, then yeah, it's very difficult for the fire of Krishna consciousness to ignite. The mode of passion, it's a little easier but still difficult. And then straw, it lights up. Very easy to. So yeah, we're advised to first know what the mode of goodness is. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. I was once, when I first joined the temple, I was reading, I still read the Bhagavad Gita, but I was going through the Bhagavad Gita, and I told Tirtha Maharaj, Mahatattva then, Prabhu, I said, well, I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita, and he said, oh, very wonderful. I said, I'm on the three modes of material nature. He said, okay. He said, don't get stuck. Just don't get stuck on the three modes. So, but you could say the best is the mode of goodness, but even the mode of goodness, I mean, it is still considered to be, it's a material mode, and also it's still a guna. A guna is a rope, which binds the conditioned soul to this material world. So those situated in the goodness, it could actually be a stumbling block. I'm not exactly sure where that phrase, I know it's in Prabhupada's books, but the origin of that phrase, stumbling block. But anyways, maybe there's some. So yeah, we don't want to be prisoners of this material world and material consciousness, but we want to be in Krishna consciousness, which means it means so many things. But and one you could say symptom of Krishna consciousness is that we're not bound to this world. We're not chained to this world. Everybody has, like you could say, invisible chains, you know, binding this to this world. You know, we're not walking around with, you know, balls and chains, you know, hooked up to our ankles and like prisoners or something. But everybody has something almost everybody has something that's attaching them to this world. So the examples given of you may have golden shackles, you may have silver shackles, and you may have copper shackles, but they're all shackles. So yeah, the idea is to get out of material consciousness, to get out of the modes, and we do that by engaging in devotional service. So here it's a special month, everybody knows, right? It's a special month, the month of Damodar, the month of where we're worshiping Lord Damodar in this pastime. And whatever devotional service we engage in has much more benefit. And what do they say? How much more benefit? 1,000 times or 10,000? Just much more benefit. So yeah, as we've heard, to increase our hearing and chanting, and that means to decrease. Like so much of our time is spent, may be spent, and you know, talking about this, talking about that, talking about so many things, right? We have village talk, and then we have world, you know, I don't know what you call that. The expanded village talk, the world village talk, you know, about, you know, oh, did you hear, you know, such and such, you know, Mataji, she you know, ditched her husband and now she's with such and such Prabhu. Oh, really? Did you hear that? And oh, did you hear such and such Prabhu? And blah blah, you know, on and on. It's an endless stream of, you know, these topics. So, and does that increase our consciousness? Does that increase our Krishna consciousness? That is very questionable. In most cases, not. So to decrease such talk and to increase the talks of Krishna, Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? Krishna book, so many wonderful books, which are like a transcendental ocean with so many wonderful gems there to be mined by the devotees if they apply themselves. So in this way, by engaging in similar activities, we could rise out of the modes of nature and rise maybe to be more firmly situated in higher modes of nature, and be situated in Krishna consciousness. So the more we could do that, the better. And that is the essence of all advice by Rupa Goswami. He says that the essence of all advice is to use one's 24 hours a day, use one's time, full time, and hearing and chanting about the transcendental form, pastimes, qualities of Krishna, and falling in the mood of a resident of Vrindavan, right? This is the essence of all advice. That's in the Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. So, if we want to become Krishna conscious, we have to discard our different speculations about how to become Krishna conscious and follow as Prabhupada says here, the pure and simple spiritual life, the pure and simple instructions of Rupa Goswami and all of our acharyas, but specifically I'm mentioning this verse, the essence of all advice. And then we will not be bound by this world. I was just thinking, Mother Yashoda, she's binding Lord Krishna. And we're bound, we may be bound by, ropes to this world. So if we want to become unbound, we should meditate on this pastime, right? So in this way, we are utilizing our lives properly, in the best way. And developing our, sense of religion, our knowledge, our austerity, our renunciation, these very important things that humans, as humans, we're supposed to have. So, so this is the idea that giving up our speculations of how to be Krishna conscious, following the instructions of Rupa Goswami and other acharyas, and rising up out of the lower modes into the higher modes into Krishna consciousness, and being situated in pure and simple spiritual life. All right, so the time is over. I'm going to be, someone may punish me if I go over time, so I'm going to stop here. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Yes, Jivita Prabhu.
Second verse, Rudantam moho netra yugmam rajantam karambo yugmena satanka netram stita graiva damodadam bhakti badham. Alright, so that's the fourth line, I think. Anyway, it's stita graiva damodadam, not stitam graivam damodadam, as it says on the sheet. We've determined that. We looked it up in the songbook.
So graivam. It's not graivam, it's graiva.
Yes, it goes smoothly in stita graiva damo dadam bhakti badham. And it's all one word, so there's a hyphen in there. We'll try to fix it in the songbook.
Oh, so in that song, yeah, I understand the sheets, but in the songbook, how is it? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. And in your Bengali songbook, just curious, who translated that one, that Bengali songbook? Does it say? Doesn't say, huh? Okay. Some Bengali devotee. All right. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Ki jai.